This is Miss Suarez. She's a Spanish teacher and she loves teaching Spanish. She has been doing this for a while. Every day she wakes up very early in the morning because she wants to share everything that she prepared last night. When she is in the classroom, she starts teaching the Spanish verbs. Okay, guys, let's conjugate these verbs. Yo juego, tú juegas. In her mind, she thinks that everything is alright because they look to be very attentive. However, the situation is that the students quite not understand what to conjugate means. Is this another fancy word they said? Uh, we don't know. Let's copy from the book. What page? She feels very frustrated because she realized that most of the students failed the quiz. So she went to talk to another teacher and said, I just asked them to conjugate a verb. What the heck is that? Is that even a word in English? He said. So what the heck is to conjugate a verb? That's the question. Learn Spanish the fun way with Natalia Alvarez. Hello. If you are a language student, you might be familiar with the word to conjugate. Do you remember your teacher asking you, let's conjugate a verb? Do you remember that? Has to do with repetition, right? Well, in this tutorial, I'm going to teach you what the heck is to conjugate a verb, why is this so important, and how we do it in Spanish language. Check it out. What does it mean to conjugate a verb? Here are some theories.
To conjugate is when you combine two juices and it tastes really bad.
It means to just put words in a sentence and change it all up.
The first thing that you need to know is that to conjugate has to do with some words called verbs. A verb is not another fancy word in grammar. It's a word that expresses an action. An action is something that someone does. For example, right now I'm talking to you. In grammar, that is a verb. Other examples of a verb could be to shake like that, to run, to walk, to eat, something that we love to do. According to the Oxford Dictionary, to conjugate refers to how a verb changes to show a different person, tense, number, or mood. Hold on, a tense, a mood, number? What is that? The first step is to ask who is performing the action. Who could be you, could be me, could be your dog, your mother, who knows. The second thing is to ask yourself when this action occurred. Was in the past, yesterday, right now, present, or will be something that you will do tomorrow. Just by looking to this word to eat, are you able to tell me who performs the action or when this action occurs? Probably no, because this verb has not been conjugated yet. So we say that the word to eat is not conjugated. So in what form is to eat? It's in infinitive. That is another term in grammar that you need to learn. Infinitive is just the basic form of the verb. That means that the verb has not been conjugated. It's the pure form of the verb. The infinitive in English is expressed by the word to in front of the verb. For example, to eat. In Spanish is a little bit different because the verbs actually they have specific endings, AR, ER, and IR endings at the end of the word. So caminar means to walk, comer means to eat, and dormir means to sleep. Why to conjugate is so important in Spanish language? I'm going to show you why. In Spanish, we classify the verbs in three different groups: AR verbs, ER verbs, and IR verbs. These three are just endings that are attached to the stem of the word. The stem is just the part of the word that doesn't change. For example, in this verb, caminar. Cam is the stem, ar is the ending. So this verb would belong to this group right here, right? In Spanish, each verb tense has a specific endings. And these endings are different for the different types of verbs that we have. Let me give you some examples. The verb caminar is an AR verb that means to walk. This verb changes depending of the verb tense and the subject that it modifies. Obviously, this is just an example because we have many verb tenses in Spanish. The verb beber means to drink. This is an ER verb that has different endings depending on the verb tense and the subject it modifies. The verb vivir, to live, is an IR verb. It has specific endings in each verb tense. It also changes depending on the subject that it modifies. Obviously, to memorize all these endings is something that is gonna take you some time, and we're gonna do this in future tutorials. Now, do you want to know how we conjugate verbs in Spanish? This is how. Before starting to conjugate, you need to keep in mind two main grammatical aspects. The first one is who is the subject, and the second one is what is the verb tense. The subject in grammar refers to who performs the action. Was me, your mom, who was it? The verb tense refers to when this action took place. Was this a past action? Is taking place right now? Or is going to take place tomorrow? The conjugation process has three different steps. The first one is to classify the verb in the groups I told you before. Is this the verb an AR verb, ER verb, or IR verb? You need to classify. Now you need to drop off the infinitive ending, as in caminar. Camin is the stem, AR is the ending. Finally, add the corresponding ending depending on the verb tense and the subject that you are referring to. So these are the three steps that you need to follow in order to conjugate a verb in Spanish. Now you should be ready to know what the heck is to conjugate a verb, right? You better know. I hope this video helped you to understand a little bit more the concept of to conjugate, and don't be so worried about it. Now you are ready to practice the forms with your classmates and practice your Espanol with everyone. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I really hope that was helpful for all of you who wants to learn Spanish. I will talk to you very soon. Ciao!